Let everyone come. Soon we will begin here. Okay. As I had started working for the ER diagram, the different notations for the ER diagram are for starting the ER diagram, you are supposed to be aware of this what entity where we call it as a table, and then you should be aware of this what attribute, or you can say that column names, what properties are there for the respective table, and after that. Again, whether it is going to be the strong entity or a weak entity, then the relationship where it is going to specify with the rhombus or diamond shape, and attributes are going to specify with the oval shape. Again, in the attributes, we will be learning different types of attributes, whether it is simple attribute or key attribute here, then multi-valued attribute, derived valued attribute here, and the composite attributes here. So we are going to learn the ER diagram for the company database here. Here, the company database keeps the track of all the departments, then project and the employees. These are the three ingredients for the company here. It is going to keep the track of projects, employees, and then this one department here. Okay, so here the bullet points are specified. That is, the company has several departments. Each department may have several locations. In the last class, I had given the example of the bank. If you say yes bank, and the branches are being located for the Goa West side, and then it is what club road here. That is there. And departments are identified by a name, department number, location. A manager control a particular department. Some boss should be there, and that boss is like an employee of the company itself. Okay, and then each department is associated with a number of projects, and employees are identified by name, ID, then address, date of birth, and when he or she joined for the company here. And then we also keep the track of number of hours the respected done by the employee on a single project. Each employee has a dependent for the purpose of insurance, and the dependent has a dependent name and gender and relationship here. So here, as for the question being asked for you people, the last class, just a minute. Here the table ER diagram is there, sir. So you had told me the different entities or the tables are employee, then department, then project, and dependent here. Okay. So now the next question for you people, what are the attributes for the employee here? Can anyone try? What are the attributes of the employee here? Yes, Shambhavi. What are the attributes of employee?
Supervision.
Anyone?
Frame.
Yes.
F name.
Huh. Okay, let us not wait anymore. So in the attribute C, we are going to have a simple attribute or a key attribute here. What is the key attribute specifies? Where it is a unique value to be identified here. Okay, it is a unique value for the purpose of column here, like a roll number or Aadhaar card, license number. These are the key attributes here. Okay, then multi-value attributes means what? Which is going to have a more than one value here. So that is getting this word represented with the help of double oval, and derived attribute means what? It is going to get derived from the base attribute here. Same like what you have learned in the Java here. Already attribute is present with that attribute you have to start deriving. The best example we can say, if you specify date of birth, we will understand that with the help of date of birth, how many years he or she is old. Apart from that, you can check the license also. Are this what respected dates will be there, or kind of a products also we can see now manufacturing date and expiry date here. If you see with the help of manufacturing date, when it was manufactured, and below that they will specify no before, best before 12 months, 4 months, the respective. So with that you can make a this word derived attribute here. So let us begin here. What are the different attributes for the respective entities? That is employee, department, project, and dependent here. Okay. Yeah. The first one, employee table or employee entity. It is a strong entity. Now, what is a strong entity? Strong entity specifies that when it is going to have a primary value or a primary key attribute. If entity or if a table is having a primary key which is not going to get repeated, that is called as a strong entity. Now, in this diagram, the strong entity is going to represent it with the help of single rectangle. When it is representing with the double rectangle, that time we call it as a weak entity. What does a weak entity mean? It means it don't have a key attribute, but it is dependent on another table here. It is dependent on another table here. So when I'm saying that it is dependent on another table, which means there is a relationship with other table here. And to specify that relationship, again, we are going to learn what is a strong relationship and what is a weak relationship. So keep calm. Let us learn here. I hope you have got what is a strong entity and what is a weak entity. First of all, say that strong entity, if it is having a key attribute. Key attribute means what? Primary attribute here, where its value is not going to get repeated. And the weak entity means what? It don't have the key attribute, but it may depend on any other entity here also. But it may depend on any other entity, any other table also here. And the strong entity is going to get represented with the help of single rectangle, and the weak entity is going to get represented with the help of double rectangle. So now we shall proceed which are the strong entities. So with the help of this diagram, can anyone tell which are the strong entities? Yes. Anyone?
Employee, department,
Uh-huh.
project,
Yeah. And how about the weak entity?
dependent,
Yes, correct. So the strong entities are employee, department, project, and dependent. Dependent is the weak entity. So three strong entities are there with us. Correct. Okay. And why these are the strong entities? Because every entity is having a primary key. Now, the next thing, the primary key or the attribute is getting represented with the help of all, and wherever the attribute, the name is there, if it is underlined, we can say it as a primary attribute or key attribute here, because it means that we are not supposed to repeat this value here. Okay, so now I'll proceed with this attributes here. For the employee entity or for the employee table, the attributes are social security number, birth date, name, address, salary, and sex here. Okay, so here these are the normal attributes here. So let us look first here. Social security number, where we say it as a SSN here, it is underlined. Means what? This table or this entity has a key attribute which is called as a social security number for each employee, and this value is not going to get repeated for other employees. Okay, so this is getting represented as a key attribute here. Then for this table or for this entity itself, one more attribute is their name, where it is getting classified by saying the first name, and here it is what? Middle initial name, and the last one it is what? Last name here. Can anyone tell me what kind of a attribute is this? Can anyone tell me what kind of attribute the name represents? Okay, I will give you options, whether it is a key attribute or it is a multi-valued attribute, or it is a composite attribute or derived attribute. From these four options, can anyone tell me what kind of attribute is this?
derive,
No, wrong. Yes, Sai Prakash. Shambhavi. Yes, Shambhavi.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of attribute it is? Name? Is that derived attribute? Someone had told me derived. I have said wrong. Then three options are left with the people. One, it is key attribute, then multi-valued attribute and composite attributes here.
Key attribute, ma'am.
Key attribute is already done. Social security number, which is completely represented by underlining the attribute here, so that we say it as a key attribute. Then two options are left with you, multi-valued and composite attribute here.
Ma'am, composite attribute.
Okay. Why late here? Nobody is answering the question here. Very four attributes you people have learned. Fine. So the name, it is what composite attributes as it is getting classified, as it is getting composed. From here itself, it is getting this what expanded. And someone had told me derived attribute. Okay, it is correct. The kind of thing you are saying, it is correct because it is getting derived with the help of attribute itself. But actually, these are F name, middle initial name, and the last name is not a derived attribute. Why it will? Because this is complete oval it is there. It is not dashed oval. If it is a dashed oval, then you have to say it is a derived attribute here. Okay. So please don't get confused between the composite attributes and the derived attribute. Derived attribute will represent with the help of dashed oval lines here. And composite normal attribute diagram, I said what? It is getting classified. Okay. So the employee entity has a key attribute where it is social security number, and also it has a composite attributes. Name is getting classified with the three parts, that is the first name, middle initial name, and the last name. Okay. Then coming to the next entity, the department table is there. Here the department table is there. Here you people can see total three attributes are there. From these three attributes, two attributes are key attributes are there. See, primary value. This is going to get primary value as the values are not going to get repeated. The first one, it is what name. Department name is a key attribute here, and department number, more strong primary value it is there. See, department number. Okay, so these are underlined, so you have to say it as a key attribute. Now here you are checking that it is a double oval. So when the attribute is representing with the help of double oval, what kind of attribute you can say? When it is double oval, what kind of attribute we have to say? Yes.
Multi-valued.
Yeah, correct. When it is double, it is what? Multi-valued. The values are going to have a number here. For the starting, when we were learning for the classification of different types of attributes, we had taken the example of this what? Phone number, alternate phone number, alternate email ID, alternate this what? Unique authentication identity card number here. So that is also there. Okay. So department is also done. And after that, we will proceed for the project entity. Again, the project entity is having three attributes total, same like a department itself. Project name is the primary key, and the number is also primary key, and the location is what? Simple location here, simple attribute. It is not a primary key, nor this what any other key. Okay, so and the last one, the last entity is what? Dependent here. First of all, the dependent is representing with the help of double rectangle. So when it is double rectangle, you have to say that it is a weak entity. The question arises for you people, why it is a weak entity. So just remember the definition of weak entity. Weak entity is nothing but when it don't have a primary key. Attributes are there. But from those attributes, there is no this what primary attribute. But still, there are many but, okay, but still, but that entity's attributes are getting dependent on other entity here, are getting dependent on other entity here. Okay, then we have to say it is what? It is a weak entity. Just remember, weak entity is what? When it don't have the primary key. Unique value is not there. Kind of other values are there, but still it is dependent on another table here. Okay, so this is a dependent entity here, which is getting represented with the double rectangle. And here you people are having n number of different attributes are there. Name. Let us come to the point why it is dashed underline. This is not a primary key. Okay, I will tell you. Name is there, and the gender. Then after that, birth date and the relationship here. Before proceeding with all these attributes, let me tell you why the dependent table is there. First of all, remember that dependent table or dependent entity is getting created in the complete database. The reason is what? Employees, some this what person should be there, relative, like dependent is used for the purpose of creating the employees insurance card. Okay, insurance, mediclaim insurance, or some any other purpose. We say no some negative things or mediclaim. Now if you see this pandemic period, many of the employees have used their insurance purpose here. So by whose name insurance? For that purpose you have to go. Okay, not much to discuss about this. So here the name is one kind of attribute is there here. Can you see here? It is a derived. I'm sorry, it is not derived. It is an underline. Why it is underlined? You know, as first of all, dependent is a weak entity, and why it is a weak entity? Their attributes are present, but we don't have the primary key. But these all attributes, from these all the attributes, one attribute is getting dependent, not this dependent. I'm telling here, one attribute is getting referred for other table here. Any other table. Okay, now here it is getting referred for employee table. Here the dependent is getting other table here. Some other person is there. Now see employee here. Employee is there. You can say employee's mother, employee's father, or employee's daughter, son, wife. These all you can say here. Okay. So how you are going to recognize where like a husband or wife or father, mother, how you are going to identify for that purpose? This name is what here the dependent's name will be there, and this dependent is going to represent here. Whose dependent it is, whose daughter he is, whose father, whose mother, like this way. And when it is underlined, you have to say that this entity is completely weak entity and it is getting reference to other table. Now, how to identify? It is getting reference to other table. Here you can see the relationship where we say it as a dependence of. Normal relationship, see here guys, how it is. It is a single diamond, it is there, see. Single diamond line it is there, then we say it is a strong relationship. Nobody is dependent on another. Every table is having a primary key. I will come to this point soon, but here you people see it is a double this one diamond it is there. We can say double diamond it is there, which means that from this table the one of the attribute is getting dependent on the employee table here. Some employee table it is there. That's why we have to say it is what? Weak relationship. When weak relationship will come, when you are representing the double diamond shape here along with the weak entity here. Okay, fine. Then any other thing I have left? Yeah, for the department table, number of employees, or you actually here the number of hours will here, number of employees will come here. Why it is derived? Can anyone try? It is already derived attribute. Can you tell me number of employees? According to you, tell me. Why it is derived attribute?
Dotted wall.
Yeah, pardon. Okay. Still, you will not get exactly. Now see, every employee is going to work in the respective department, right? Okay. Every employee. Now I'll say CS department, IT department. Okay. Otherwise, CS department and electrical department, I will say. Together, one institute is having 100 students are there. From that 100 students, everyone is getting divided here. Everyone is getting divided here. So for each department, you are supposed to calculate how many employees are there here. So this number of employees are coming from this table only. No, we are not going to create separate. We are not going to insert the separate values for the department who all are working in this department. No, we are not. We are supposed to take the value from the employee table only here. Employee काम करेगा ना department में. So to work in that department, employee is going to have an employee ID, and with the help of employee table, we can find out how many employees are working in the CS department, how many employees are working for the mech department or electrical department here, HR department, finance, marketing. How many employees are there? That's for the reason they have said the number of employees here. Still, you will be not able to focus how it is getting related. So be calm. Here the table, actually table is not it. We are working on what? ER diagram. Once you get the table, then you can understand here. Now see, from this employee table, no social security number, in the department table also it is going to come soon. Next table is available here. So as in the department, employee only going to work. No, so from that itself, they have said the number of employees are going to work here, which we say it as a derived, because from this table itself we are fetching here. Here, assume that here 100 employees are there. So from that 100, 20 people are working for the CS department, 20 people are working for mech department. So like this way, okay? Fine. Coming to the next point. Okay, now you tell me from your side what is a partial relationship and what is a strong relationship. Before telling the partial and strong, tell me which all relationships are there here. Can anyone try apart from the Sai Prakash? Aishwarya? Dinah? Fine. I will only tell everything. The relationships are works for controls, dependence of, works on, manages and supervision. Okay. Now, before proceeding with the relationship, here we are having only one weak relationship that I have told you. One weak relationship is there, and others are completely strong relationship here. Okay. Now, before proceeding for this relationship, there are two types of participation. Now, what is the participation? When from both the tables or from both the entities, some values are getting participated with each other. So that time with each other, we say that it is a relationship. It is getting associated with two tables. We call it as a relationship here. So works for here. Now, what kind of a participation is there? Whether it is total participation or it is a partial participation here. Now, what is a total participation? From one table, assume that employee table, all the employees are working or participating in department here. All the employees are participating in department. None of the employees are empty. Okay, they are not sitting idle. Okay, and similarly, it is going to represent with the double line here. When it is double line, you have to say that it is a total participation. I will repeat. You have to say that it is a total participation when double line is representing. And when it is representing from the entity to the relationship single line, you have to specify that it is a partial participation. What does a partial participation mean? From the table or from the entity, some of the values may or may not participate in the relationship to get associated with other table here. I'm repeating still, partial participation represents that some of the values or some of the set may or may not participate. Some of the employees will sit idle. So that time it will represent as a single line. But right now it is not. Okay, every employee is working for kind of relationship kind of table here. So now see, I will take this example first. Okay, employee is the table. Here, n number of employees will be there. Assume that 100 employees are there with us. And this kind of a relationship is what supervision is there. Now, what is the supervision? Take an example from our college itself. We say that supervisor, you people will be attending the exam. So to get the question paper, answer paper, some faculty should be there, right? Some supervisor should be there. So from the that department or from the this what college, everyone can't be supervisor. Okay, some will be scored, some other will be this what chief. It will be there here. Chief superintendent will be there, like who will be counting the papers, who will be checking the papers. Some employee will take care of the attendance, everything. Some employee will take care of the question papers. All the employees cannot be a supervisor. All the employees cannot be a principal like this way. All the employees cannot be a HOD here. One employee should be there here. But those are employees or employee, a citizen. So there here, this is what the employee table. It is getting connected for the single itself here. There is no other table. From all the employees, one person should be like a HOD or like a supervisor here. Okay. So 1:n here, like a here, supervisor. So all this what some of the employees will participate. So only one supervisor will be there, and supervising it will be n number of supervisors will be there. Getting otherwise you can say one faculty, sorry, one HOD and number of faculties also will be there here. Okay. So supervision should be there here. Supervisor and supervisee here. So 1:n, many will be there. Okay, it is getting represented. Now coming to this point, employee and department, the relationship between this, it is what works for it is there. And as it is representing the double line, when it is double line, we say it as a total participation. Matlab, from this table, all the values are getting participated, as well as from the department table, all the values are getting, and all the departments are getting worked. Okay, so see, employee here you see n is to 1, n and 1 it is there, which means n is to 1, many to 1 relationship. Many employees are working for one department here. Many employees are working for one department. Many employees cannot work for n number of departments here, so that also matters here. So many is to 1 here. Many employees work for one department here. And here, if you see vice versa, 1:n. One department is getting by many employees here, getting worked by many employees here. Okay, so this is done. Then after that, let us work out here. Employee and works on, employee and project here. Employee table and project table. So the relationship between these people, it is what works on. It is completely strong relationship. As for the employee table, primary key is social security number. Coming to the point of the project table, primary key is project number. So both the tables have this what primary keys, and it is getting represented for both. And the relationship is very strong, not a weak relationship here. And if you see the line, according to this, it is a double line. And for the project 2 works on, also it is a double line, which means total participation. From the project table, all the values are getting participated in the employee, as well as from the employee table, all the employees are getting worked on the respective project here. So see here, M is to N means what? Many to many. Many employees are working on many projects. Many employees are working for many projects here. Now can you see? Just for the relationship, we have created one type of attribute, R's. R's. Why it is R's? We have to check, no. Sai Prakash, employee Sai Prakash, how many hours is working for one project? So that it is what called as a derived attribute. So it is R's is there. Many is to many here. So today we will stop here. Again, I will repeat for the next class. So start giving the attendance here. If you have done with your attendance, if no doubts, you can leave my class. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, take care. So only few it is left. Tomorrow we will find out.